Good morning again, everyone, and thank you all so much for taking this opportunity to join me. Today is Saturday, March 19th, 2016, and we do have breaking news again, Saints. Unfortunately, we have learned that another officer here has been shot again in South Suburban Park Forest. Again, we do know that this officer is in critical condition from what we are hearing. This officer's name is Officer Tim Jones, from what we are hearing. Officers were called to investigate a possible break-in at approximately 5:40 a.m. at the 300 block of Noelia Street, when officers found a stolen car parked in front of the home also. However, though officers during trying to set up a perimeter, officers were met by a subject coming out the front of the house there, and of course, during the officers attempted to confront this subject, and again, the subject pulled a weapon and began firing at officers. However, though Officer Tim Jones was struck, we do know that officers did return fire, fatally striking the suspect. He was pronounced dead a short time later by paramedics, according to sources again here. We do know that Officer Tim Jones was immediately rushed to the hospital. He was taken to a Franciscan St. James Health in Olympia Fields with life-threatening injuries. Police said he was then airlifted to Advocate Medical Christ Medical Center in suburban Oak Lawn. However, though, it further reads on that the suspect was pronounced dead at the scene by paramedics, according to police. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed the death but did not release further details Saturday morning. Olstenberg, of the spokesman for the mayor of suburban Park Forest, goes on to say that Officer Tim Jones has been a member of the department for at least a year now. However, again, we do know that he has been shot and he is in critical condition. Again, he was first rushed to He was rushed to Franciscan St. James, later airlifted to Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn. Again, Saints, let's be sure that we do keep this officer in our prayers. Let's be sure to keep his department and, of course, his entire family in our prayers again, Saints. With everything that is happening here again, we know, Saints, there is no promise of tomorrow, given everything that is happening around us. Everybody knows this past week, 3 Chicago police officers here were shot. However, though, all 3 are expected to be okay. The following morning, 2 of them were immediately released. However, one of the police officers was kept for observations. However, though, we do know that all 3 officers are expected to be okay. Again, with that being said, we do know, Saints, again, that we are living in the last days. And, we do know that there is no promise of tomorrow, even though we aren't to worry about tomorrow, Saints. Scripture plainly tells us, what Jesus tells us in Matthew 6:34, therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for, tomorrow will worry about its own things. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. And we do know that, we aren't to worry about these things, Saints, because we know that the Lord has not given us a spirit of fear, as it's written in 2 Timothy, 5:17, I believe it, 2:17, I'm sorry. No, I believe it's in 1 verse 7, 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. I do apologize about that again. However, though, again, Saints, with everything that is happening, with the division between the people and local law enforcement personnel, again, we do have to, continue to keep our first responders in our prayers. Again, let's just be sure that we do keep Officer Tim Jones and his entire family and both the department in our prayers again, Saints. It's always unfortunate when you get this kind of news in the morning, but again, with everything that is happening around us, Saints, we do know that we are living in the last days. And, Jesus plainly told his disciples in John 10:10 that, Satan has come to do 3 things, and that's to steal, kill, and to destroy. And, it's obvious that was, 2 of the main things that was on this, subject's agenda, of course. When officers are usually dealing with someone like this, it's obvious, they have absolutely, no respect or regard for human life or authority whatsoever. Again, and we do know that the officer, Tim Jones, who was struck by this subject, is in critical condition at this time at Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn now. And again, the subject was fatally shot and wounded by police officers. However, again, this is a terrible situation, and let's just be sure that we do keep this officer and his family in our prayers. Again, Saints, with so much happening around the world on a daily basis, there's no doubt we are on the verge of mass civil unrest with everything that we see. happening around us, as Jesus told his disciples in Matthew 24, for nation will rise up against nation. In other words, the people rising up against the people in the last days. We saw firsthand, the Trump rally here in Chicago, about a week or two ago, here Friday over at the UIC Pavilion, where Trump was, shuttled to give a rally. Protesters and those attending the rally, began to clash with one another. And, however, a few protesters began to clash with police officers, of course. And again, with that being said, Saints, with everything that is happening, again, we do know that the BLM is threatening violence should Trump be elected to the presidency, of course. We'll be leaving a link in regards to that also, again. And, we do know that police officers in Cleveland, Ohio have already stocked up on at least 2,000 pieces of a riot gear for this July's convention over there in Cleveland, Ohio, where they are expecting riots. Trump has gone on to say, however, also, if he is not elected to the GOP, he is expecting people to riot. So, again, either way, that just goes to show, Saints, that this is not good, either way. And again, we need to continue to pray. Let's continue to pray for a revival, Saints, because, this nation is definitely, in need of a revival with all that is happening around us, on a daily basis. Again, we know what 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14 says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will heal their land. And I know I'm just paraphrasing that, but again, we do know what 2 Chronicles 7:14 says. And with that being said, again, Saints, for those of you who aren't saved, give your life to Jesus Christ, Saints, because again, with everything that is happening here, there is no promise of tomorrow, Saints. And you have to understand that, heaven and hell are both very real places. And Jesus plainly, told Nicodemus in John chapter 3, verse 3 that, unless a man is born again, he cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. But according to his word in Romans 10:9 clearly says that whoever confesses with their mouth that Jesus Christ is Lord and believes in his heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved, Saint. And, with that being said, again, for those of you watching, continue to pray for a revival, Saints, because, again, we are in need of a revival in these last days. Continue to pray for the peace of Israel. And again, if we happen to have any more breaking news, I will be bringing that to you, of course. However, though, we do know that there has been another shooting again in South Suburban Park Forest. Officer Tim Jones has been struck and is in critical condition again at this time at Advocate Medical Center in suburban Oak Lawn. And again, let's continue to keep him, his department, and his family in our prayers. And if we do have any breaking news or if we have any further details in regards to this officer's conditions, I will be bringing that to you again, Saints. Again, for those of you who aren't saved, give your life to Jesus Christ, and God bless each and every one of you.